Hey everyone, welcome to this review of Taaza Khabar Season 2 starring Bhuvan Mam, Shreya Pilgaonkar and Javed Jaffrey as its villain. Directed by Himang and written by three able writers, and this was the best part of this series, that it was written by able writers who could engross the audience with the screenplay. The screenplay was the best part of this series, serving as a sequel of the part 1, the season 1 of the series, where they have shown the vicious cycle caused by this Vardhan that is indeed a boon but hidden in the disguise of a curse. So this kind of vicious cycle is represented well in this season 2, and season 2 seems to discover the vicious cycle, the part which is not discovered well in certain kind of web series where they only show the good side, but here the bad side is also shown, and the introduction of a villain, the barbaric, the brutal, the diabolical, the sadistic Javed Jaffrey, who represents his role perfectly with a blend of stone-hearted barbarism, and at times he seems to be having a reason to do so, because the introduction, his world introduction, why he do it, why he does it, and his motivation and the way he sees the world, his worldview. Like everyone is born with the evil side in him, and everyone just discovers his own evil side at some stage in life. And that moment, I was shocked to see the level of depth in the writing of this series. And literally, the writers did an amazing job writing the story with the proper screenplay. The screenplay seems to engross you at times and engage you with exciting and elevating scenes which build upon the base of Taaza Khabar, that it's a hypothetical world and anything can happen in this world. There's a vicious cycle faced by Basant Gowde, who is in this loop of vicious cycle, and he does not know why this thing happens to him. He again reminds himself the first place when he got this boon. It was coming up with a slip, the manual for it, which said that this is a boon, but this can also become a curse at times, so you have to be cautious about how you use it. And at times, when he uses it, it might backfire for his life or his belongings or his loved ones, may get into trouble. The stakes were higher this time, and the screenplay was amazing. It was better, but as it was based on a scenario which is hypothetical, and the characters were based on the scenario to be linked with Vasant Gowde, that is Bhuvan Mam, so this seemed to be kind of detached from the thing which is happening in the main space, but at moments they try to make sense. In the ending, the climax, everything makes sense, and they all try to act as a supporting actors at times, and they have no significance in this series. Season 1 shown us about the significance of each character in the life of Vasant Gowde, but this time they have not shown enough about what a person holds dearer, or if what a person holds the weight of a thing in his life. So Vasant Gowde does not seem to care about a person just because he exists. He seems to care about a person just because he delivers something, he gives him something. Vasant Gowde seems to be materialistic, it does not seem to value relationships much, but Bhuvan Bam's acting seems to be off track at times. When he loses someone dear to him, he does not seem to be reflecting upon his decisions that led this to happen. If that would be shown in this series, then that would have generated a much bigger impact, much bigger depth into the minds of the audience, to reflect upon the fact that the audience is believing that something happened to the protagonist's life. And at that moment, they tried to hook the audience, but they couldn't. They could not. They tried hard to do it, but they could not do it. It's the most essential part of this series, but they could not justify for increasing the stake. Even when the stakes are higher, the rewards become higher. But this time, when the stakes were higher, the rewards were not justifiable, and the villain, being the vicious villain, who is barbaric and brutal at the same time, who is also sadistic at the same time, who is also offering him two ways to die: either choose a knife or choose a revolver. What to choose? It's upon you and your choice it is, and then you have to die ultimately. That thing repeats itself. Karma strikes back, karma repeats. This thing happens, and a simple storyline, I would say, but the villain makes it further interesting. Phenomenal job by Javed Jaffrey and Bhuvan Bam, of course, and everyone in this series did an amazing job in the roles and in the characters they were given. They did an amazing job. Especially, I would like to congratulate the entire team of Taaza Khabar and the actors. Indeed, they did a phenomenal job. The writers, claps for them. Literally claps for them. They did an amazing job writing the screenplay. The screenplay was fabulous. They tried to engage, build the tension, and elevate it at times to engross the audience and to elevate the scenes at such level, at such scale, to maintain decency and maintain the level of tension so that audience will feel the goosebumps at times needed, but not every time. Season 1 on based on discovery of it, the need of it, then the discovery of it, and how he used it. But season 2 is about the vicious cycle of it, vicious cycle of the Vardhan. That is a boon, but disguised as a curse. So this boon can be used as a curse at sometimes, and this boon can also result into being a boon itself. But the boon how it's utilized and how it's used and how it's viewed by the world and the person associated with it is all that makes any difference in this web series. Overall, it's a hypothetical scenario and it could be better at sometimes, but watching it with 3 hours plus runtime was an awesome thing to watch like a movie, and it was small, engrossing, interesting, and at times you'll feel so keenly interested about what will happen in the next episode of it. It keeps you hooked with it, and that's the best thing I would say. It will keep you spellbinded for some time, and then you'll think about what's happening in the next series or in the next season of it. This was a good job they did, and season 2 left some questions to be answered in the season 3, and waiting for that. Congratulations to the entire team of Bhuvan Bam and Taaza Khabar team and Hotstar to bringing such amazing content with you in your platform. Thank you everyone, and that's all about the review. I would like to give this series 3.5 out of 5. It was better, and it could be better at sometimes, but leaving it apart, it was better. And considering the fact that everything happens good in these kind of fairy tale scenario kind of movies, so this was the appropriate ending to this, and hoping for the best in season 3, of course. That's all about my review. See you in the next review. Bye bye.